Hi guys, and welcome to episode 16 on the DL, the practical approach. Dakoda,
Len,
and today we are covering the 1%ers versus the
fundamentals.
Yes.
Yeah.
I forgot the word there for a second.
I got you back. I got you back.
Practical. Yes. So we both agree on this, that it is really easy for people to, and this happens at any level, whether you're a novice or whether you're deep into your journey. Finding, those 1%ers, like the supplement that's going to change your life, the supplement that's going to make it easier, something's really trivial and small that's easy to implement, rather than focusing on the platform, the easy things that you should really start with. Yeah.
Like building a house on a shitty foundation, right, guys?
Yes.
Like, there's no way in hell you're going to spend $500,000 to build a house on a foundation that you know is not going to last, but we do it all day, every day in the fitness industry.
100%.
We do the teeny tiny little things that have negligible value without the fundamentals, but we implement those first. So why don't we talk about what we consider to be the fundamentals and then move through that? So from a training perspective, you and I have discussed this many a times, people don't want to do the boring stuff. But the fact of the matter is, you have to, don't you, Dad?
You have to. The boring stuff works.
Yeah.
Like it's like, having one exercise or, a few exercises in one program for 8 weeks may sound boring.
Yeah.
But if you don't get the skill acquisition, what's the point? If you change it every 4 weeks, and that might be exciting, but what are you actually getting from the exercises itself?
Yeah.
Same as warm-ups. Nobody wants to warm up. Nobody wants to do their activations. Nobody wants to do their rehab or their prehab, but those are so important to get you to where you want to be, and that's a really good point. A really good example. They're bloody boring. Nobody wants to do it. But I guess, doing your warm-ups is going to make the exciting stuff, which is your heavy squats or your heavy bench or your heavy deadlifts, feel so much better and move them along so much faster. So in that situation, the boring stuff, indirect, definitely helps 100%.
And the boring stuff allows you to do it long term as well, right?
Exactly.
So this is where periodization in programming and that sort of jazz comes in. You can't be doing 1 RMs every week and expect your body to recover. So if realistically all you're thinking of every time you walk in the gym is how can I thrash myself in one way or another, like for bodybuilders, just ruin yourself with reps, for powerlifters, max out every single time you step into the gym, then all you're really doing is plateauing your progress, right? Because you can't progress if you're not actually building off those fundamentals.
You're only as strong as you are recovered.
That's exactly right. That's it. Yeah. So from a fundamental perspective, when you look at different kinds of programming, Dak, so you've got your powerlifters that come in as complete novices. What's the first thing that you're going to be looking at in terms of getting them a good base structure?
Well, it's definitely movement. Like definitely making sure they acknowledge, what their actual goal is and what they need to do to get there. So it's definitely focusing on, quality of movement way before, all right, let's just get you strong. Let's throw you under a barbell and just load up the weight. So definitely movement. And then also like the mental headspace. Like you can't take someone to a powerlifting competition if they're not ready for it. Same as the bodybuilding stage. Like I think bodybuilding is definitely a different cup of tea. Like I think bodybuilding is a lot more psychological. I mean, powerlifting definitely is. Yeah. But really only the last 6 to 8 weeks, personally. Yeah.
And bodybuilding is a very subjective sport, whereas there's nothing subjective about powerlifting. No. You either get the lift or you don't.
Yeah. You either try or you fail.
Simple.
It's either 3 white lights or maybe 2 to 3 reds.
Yeah, exactly right. So it's very clear cut. It's not an attack on your personal self.
No.
It's about your performance that day. There are hundreds of people that go into powerlifting comps who have lifted what they are attempting to lift on the day in the gym, but miss it because of they've missed a call, they've, racked too early.
Something's very trivial, but it can happen. It can happen.
Exactly. And that's not about whether or not they've prepped correctly or done what they needed to do. It's just about the pressure on the day, getting the better 100%. Of them. So once you've got these people set up with their fundamentals, right? So they've learnt how to move correctly. They're able to understand psychologically what they're trying to get out of their training.
Yeah.
Then specificity still only kicks in slowly, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We're not going to be like, you're not going to go from here's the basic program to I'm just going to give you different exercises in every single program. The fundamentals are going to stay the same for massive blocks of time, right?
Yeah, lengthy period of time. And, you know, really, it depends on the athlete, of course, but you really only have to cut down and get way more, way more direct to the actual sport, you know, maybe 10 to 8 weeks out, you know, like I have clients doing cardio and CrossFit as well as a powerlifting program. Which, you know, maybe a few years ago was completely unheard of.
Yeah.
Like, cardio kills gains.
But I've heard that one a few times. Yep.
but yeah, no, cardio increases how much work you can do. You
Absolutely.
know, increases your recovery.
That's it.
So I think it's definitely, the specificity isn't as needed far out from a competition. Only when you really get close to it do you actually have to go, okay, well, what you want and what you have to do or what you need, kind of, you gotta take and you gotta give and take. Yeah, definitely.
So smart programming is not necessarily exciting programming, but good coaches are always going to put one or two things in there that'll make you look forward to
something that you enjoy. Yeah, 100%.
But it's not about just making it enjoyable. If you come in and you're asking for an outcome, your coach needs to facilitate that, which means that getting the fundamentals, getting that first 80% right is going to get you 95% of the way.
In a few months.
It's going to get you almost all of the way. Then those little 1%ers will kick in later down the track, right? So things like deciding between whether or not to deload or have a pivot week or da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
These are sort of, from my understanding, you know this a whole lot better, but they're kind of 1%ers for a lot of people, right? In terms of whether or not you decide to do deload versus whether or not you decide to do a pivot week versus
and
whether
everyone's
or not.
Different.
Exactly.
Their recovery base is different. Everyone's going to react differently to, you know, the frequency of the load. Like, so it's really person to person.
Yeah.
I know some coaches deload automatically, like they have it in there, whereas
Every
others go as you feel. I definitely go as I feel. Like, I mean, obviously, you're not going to need a deload until it's too late. Like,
that's
you're
right.
going to be like, okay, now I'm fatigued and it's too late.
It's like you don't need a diet break until you've already screwed up.
Until it's too late to implement. Exactly. 100%. Exactly. So it's about listening to your body. So I definitely think, you know, recovery, paying attention to your recovery and how you feel is 100% a fundamental that gets forgotten.
Absolutely. All right, so in summary, fundamentals for training, activation, warm-ups. A good, well-planned program that is designed around the outcome, maximizing your potential through technique rather than just jumping to the fun things for the sake of jumping to the fun things. Adequate rest and recovery and making sure that you look after the niggles before they become a big problem. I don't know what's going on with this today. I think it's from my jacket. Sorry, guys. I look like I'm really gruff, but we'll go with it. So if that's what we've got from a training perspective, let's now go into what we've got from a nutritional perspective. I think nutrition is hilarious because I
reckon nutrition's probably worse.
Oh, so
to
much
be honest.
Worse. So much worse. I get asked more questions about supplements, juice cleansers,
booty band workouts,
you know, those like blood type diets, than I do about what basic nutrients should I be getting in.
What's the most simple way I can get to my goal? It's like, training 12 days a week. Do you think that's enough?
Just maybe. But it's true. Like they jump to these little 1%ers. And often it's not actually that much easier, right? Like sometimes we are looking for the Band-Aid approach. But other times, like, okay, how is remembering to take 16 supplements any easier than drinking 3 litres of water?
How is it easier to take a pill that probably just makes you go to the toilet easier than making sure you drink 3 litres?
That's it.
Or you eat all of your meals.
So fundamentals, guys, fundamentals. calorie deficit, calorie surplus, or calorie maintenance, depending on your goal.
What you want. Yep.
There's number one.
Yeah.
Number two, adequate protein. Making sure your adequate protein spread across the day. Yeah. Water intake, adequate water intake, which will vary person to person, right? You can look up 101 different calculations on how to do it.
Just do what feels good.
And increase it until you feel your best, and then you'll get to a point where drinking more than that is no longer beneficial. Yeah. Then hold. Just stay there, right? Then you're probably in a good place. Making sure you're getting variety in your diet. Don't eat the same thing every day. Vary your vegetable choices. Vary your fruit choices.
Carbs,
proteins, fats. Yeah. Vary them all up. Nutrient diversity will happen naturally if you choose different foods. You don't really have to overthink it that much unless you have a specific nutrient deficiency. Yeah. Just get a really good broad base, right?
But it's really not that complicated.
It's really not that complicated. So if you do those things well, that will get you 80 to 90% of the way to your outcome, I promise you, every single time, right?
Yeah.
Then consider the 1%ers.
Then you can add in those BCAAs, which is controversial.
It's almost earn the right to do it, right?
Yeah.
Like get most of it right first. And then you will see the benefits, because otherwise, what's coming from what?
Because you've got novice. It's like at a competition. You've got novice. They wear whatever clothes they want, whatever shoes they want, belt maybe, and then you've got your elite athlete, which wears wraps. You got wrist wraps. You got belt. You got knee sleeves. The right lifting shoes. The right soft suit.
Every little thing matters. Because you've got the strength, you've got the technique. Now, 1%.
Then you can add the 1%ers, which is the equipment. You wouldn't go the other way around because people would laugh at you. Yeah, but true. It's exactly the same. Is your nutrition. Like, absolutely. Why would you spend all your money and your time implementing supplements that may or may not work?
Exactly right.
Before doing something that's free and easy that 100% works every single time.
Particularly in an industry where they're trying to sell you something 9 times out of 10 for the wrong reasons, right? Yeah. So most of the claims that you will see in the supplement industry are either just completely incorrect or highly exaggerated, right? Like there probably is some semblance of truth down here somewhere, and then they've extrapolated that.
They're taking one thing and just ran with it.
That's exactly right. So, the ones that say rapid fat loss, this, that, and the next thing, most of them are just a very clever marketing strategy about caffeine that you could get for $12 at the servo in the form of no-dos, or you could drink a nice cup of coffee or da-da-da. So their marketing is phenomenal, and it creates this belief in people that these 1%ers are going to make 100% of the difference, and it just doesn't happen.
Well, you don't have the time or money to actually allocate 100% of 1%ers.
That's exactly
I can't imagine that wouldn't even exist. That would not even exist.
It's very true, actually. I never really thought of it that way, but it's very true. But that's it. Like, it comes down to, if you're taking 7 different supplements that are supposed to achieve 7 different things, you better have 7 different things wrong with you, right? Because supplements should be there to support your nutrition, not to replace it.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
100%.
So say, for instance, if you have a inability to absorb iron for some reason, sure, we probably need to either put you on iron supplementation, send you, you're laughing at how I say iron. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I've got like 4 or 5 words. Every time you hear them, she'll crack up. Just go with it. But it is. It's like simple things. Yeah. Solve the problems that you have, not the problems that you don't have.
That you don't have.
That's it.
Do taking 5 pills a day make you feel special?
Yeah.
And make it okay to overeat at the end of the day?
Exactly right. No. Like, supplementation should be around for people who cannot get enough for some reason, right? Like the elderly, for instance.
Yeah, 100%.
They lose their thirst response. They lose their hunger response. It's great to give them protein shakes, nutrient protein shakes, because that tops it up. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Give them a good multivitamin or something along those lines, just to help assist. But if you're young, healthy, eating a diverse diet, third time lucky, you shouldn't be on 15 supplements unless you are epically active, right?
Yeah,
like if you are insanely active and you can't get enough through your nutrition. So if you're an Olympic swimmer and you're training twice a day, every day,
maybe then,
exactly. Then we might need to top you up because you've just got so much output. Trying to get it all in through food might be difficult.
Yeah.
Other
but your
than
average
that,
Joe that goes to the gym for an hour a day, maybe 4 to 5 times a week, goes for a few walks, like you have the time to eat correctly, you have the time to diversify your food. Like, why are you spending so much money on things that don't actually get you any closer?
That's right. They're, again, 1%ers, right? Like, if you are not doing the fundamentals right, you're basically swapping 80% for 1%, right, guys? So it's really not a good trade. The risk versus reward situation.
It's really not. There's no reward, you know. Like if nutrition is 80% and you're putting 40% effort in, and then you're doing 40%, and then you've got maybe 5 supplements at home you take. That's only 45%.
That's right.
That's not 80%. Wouldn't you rather the 80% and 0% of the money wasting supplements?
And less energy, less effort, you know? At the end 100%. Of the day, why are we adding things that are not necessary to add? Now, please don't get me wrong. I'm a big advocate of supplements. I worked
Of course. They have a place.
Yeah.
They have a place.
I've worked for supplement companies most of my life. But I believe they need to be recommended based on what you need, not what you think you want, right?
Or think you need.
That's it. So, you know, there are some great coaches out there that recommend quite a substantial number of supplements.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that as long as you can explain to me why your client needs each and every one.
Every single one. What benefits are they actually going to get other than you maybe making you sound smart?
Exactly right, yeah. Or making your mate money down at Nutrition Warehouse. Which is fine.
Yeah, which is fine.
Local business, you know. But it really does. It comes down to that. So supplement where necessary, not just for the sake of supplementing.
Not just because it makes you feel good.
Exactly
and
right.
like you're putting more effort into it. Put effort into the right areas. Put effort into your base. And then when you've got the base of the program or the base of the training and the base of your nutrition, you're killing that and that's effortless.
Yep.
And you've got 100% control.
Yeah.
Then add in the stuff that actually makes it harder.
Yeah, exactly right. The stuff that makes it harder but will then have a benefit,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
Our summary today is get the fundamentals right. Don't think about anything else until you've got the fundamentals 100%, right.
Yeah.
Then invest your time and energy into all of the 1%ers.
Exactly.
Then we back them.
If you were playing Mario, would you start at level 1 or would you start at level 10?
Well, it depends if you ask my husband.
Depends if you have a cheat code. Level 1.
Level 1.
Level 1.
But it's true, yeah. No, we advocate the 1%ers, but only when you've earned them.
Exactly.
Work your way up to it.
Earn them 100%.
Work your way up to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. Fundamentals wins every time.
Every time.
Thanks for joining us today, guys. Pop any comments.
Any questions?
Below.
Bye.